Hey everyone, I'm Andy Raffel from eTechnics.com, and this monster is the AlphaCool Ice Bear Extreme 280ml liquid cooling kit. Consider it the convenience factor between, I guess, going from an AIO up to a custom loop without all the hassle of, worrying about exactly what you need. It's all inside this one box. Let's take a look. So the Ice Bear Extreme 280 liquid cooling kit from AlphaCool is basically a pre-filled and pre-built custom loop that can be disassembled and expanded in a modular fashion, basically including individual products that are deemed Ice Bear ready. Potentially this is a great option for those who don't want to dive straight into the complex and daunting world of full custom looping, but do want more flexibility in their system cooling. Now the first thing that you'll notice about the Ice Bear Extreme is, well, it's absolutely massive, and you'll probably notice at first glance that the price seems kind of massive too. Priced at £226 in the UK, €250 in Europe, and $283 in the US, but we'll talk about that a little bit later on. Now going back to the size, this thing is an absolute beast, measuring in at 385 by 156 by 64mm. It really is absolutely huge. So you will need something with more rad space than a typical 280, as the title might suggest. That being said, you do have several options for screw placement corresponding to various different established form factors, so as long as your case is large enough, you shouldn't have any problem attaching it. The aluminium enclosure itself is nice and sturdy with a matte black finish and a honeycomb design on the rad. This will assist with airflow, and inside it houses everything you'd expect in any other custom loop. A radiator, fans, reservoir and a pump all in one place. The hoses are very nice, as AlphaCool put it, with high kink resistance. High kink. AlphaCool? Yeah? As we said, this is modular and expandable, so the water block section is easily detachable with the Ice Bear Ready quick fasteners. They are great at keeping mess to a minimum, but you may find a few drops when detaching it. The ease of customization depends on which component or components you're replacing, but generally it's nice and simple and can be paired up with the likes of the AlphaCool Nexus Ice Wolf Rads or GPX blocks. Due to the G 1/4 inch fittings, you can also use this with competitor products from EK, Bits Power and others. Bear in mind you will have to put more coolant in if you're expanding beyond the stock configuration, and AlphaCool do recommend that you only use clear coolants if you are to expand the loop, or you can also use pure distilled water. The tubes aren't transparent, so this shouldn't matter, but if you are expanding using other tubing, it's worth keeping in mind that you're advised not to use coloured pastel coolants. Thankfully, the reservoir is easy to top up, and the outer casing comes with a handy fluid level readout on the side. So when it's inside your system, you'll be able to see this nice and easily. All connectors use a G 1/4 inch thread, giving you lots of flexibility with what you're able to do. It's also nice to see that AlphaCool supply a lot of different fitting brackets for both AMD and Intel sockets. Sadly though, even though the list is quite large of current and kind of previous generation sockets, there is no TR4 support. But being a standard AlphaCool IceBlock XPX CPU block, I can't see why you wouldn't be able to buy a Threadripper block fitting kit and just basically put it on there. Now, one great thing about the Extreme 280 is that it is extremely quiet, running at a stated noise level of only 31 decibels. So now that we've given you a general overview of the product itself, let's take a look at the inside and see kind of what makes it all up and, well, what makes it tick. So for the fans, AlphaCool have partnered with Be Quiet to supply the included 140mm Silent Wing free fans. These spin at a rate of 1300 RPM and are regarded as some of the best fans on the market. The fans include 4-pin PWM connectors, so will spin at a variable rate depending on the temperatures of the unit. Rad-wise, we've got a 280 by 30mm Nexus ST30 rad. It's solid copper and is a typical radiator that you've seen us use in various pieces of content on the channel. The included CPU block is the IceBlock XPX, the same one that again we've used countless times in various builds. It's a great block that is solid, looks great and gives you the ability to change the cover to suit your finished build. You just need to buy the separately bought modding pack. Again, featuring G 1/4 inch fittings as we'd expect, this is compatible with all of the latest Intel and AMD sockets, apart from Threadripper. To add a bit more design flair, the block also features an LED Alphacool logo, but again, this is nothing new. Pump-wise, Alphacool have decided to go for the latest VPP 755. Comes with a 4-pin Molex to power it, and while Alphacool do have a choice of pumps, they've specifically gone for the 755 due to its flow rate and low noise output. As mentioned earlier, the casing has a fluid level readout, which allows you to see through to the res, which is also lit by LEDs. The pump does have variable control too, but you need to remove the housing to get to the dial, and it really is a bit of a ball ache. I'd probably advise doing some research or knowing how you want it set up inside your chassis before the final build. If you want something that is more adjustable on the fly, you may be better off simply diving straight in and making your own custom loop. Obviously, all of that aside, we want to see exactly how it performs in terms of temperature testing. So we put it on our test bench and we wanted to see exactly how it fared against, well, air coolers, AIOs, and much, much more. So let's take a look. So I mentioned in the start of this video that this is a massive product with a massive price point, but after sort of looking at it, well, it's not really that bad. Yes, it is more expensive than an AIO, but this is so much more than an AIO. It's not quite a custom loop, but it's actually cheaper than a fully fledged custom loop. So it is that nice kind of middle ground. I know from first-hand experience when I first started doing custom loop, how daunting it can be, how scary it can be. But I wanted to do it. So this is kind of that nice, I guess, baby step towards it. Obviously there are a few little niggly things. So the first being the variable pump control. You don't want to have to take that off just to get to it. So I guess if you want that kind of on the fly, then maybe going to a full custom loop is the way forward, but it is going to cost you more money. And honestly, how often are you going to actually have to change that pump speed? The other thing is obviously the sheer size of it. Yes, it is going to take up a lot less room than your kind of conventional water cooling loop because it is all in one place. But you're going to have to make sure that your chassis has all of the correct kind of mounting points, and I guess a little bit of research is going to have to be done there. But admittedly, the guys at Alphacool and Aquatuning are actually really, really good. So if you are kind of, struggling with it a little bit, maybe contact them on social media and kind of get their input. They are really good guys. But I don't think you're really going to have too much of a problem if you was looking at a chassis that supports a full custom loop anyway. You got to remember, this is everything that a full custom loop has, and kind of has, I guess, almost the same form factor. If anything, this is actually going to take up less room in your chassis. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, let us know in the comment section below and let me know, is this the sort of product that you would go for, or would you just kind of take that big leap from either an air cooler or AIO all the way up to a custom loop? As I say, it can be a scary thing, but it's not that bad. Maybe we'll do some guides in the future. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, you know exactly what to do, and I will see you in the next one. See you later, guys. Bye-bye. That being said, you do have separate... As we said, this is modular and expandable. So a 4-pin PWM, I basically put M and N together, just to kind of, give you that flexibleness. And while Alphacool do have a choice of pumps, hopefully, you really like this video, and let us know in the comment section below if I'm rambling.